Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. Today on the show, we've got Jordan selling in the millions, Union's next move, Mario news, Star Wars news, Marvel news, the week's hottest releases, and of course, a Hard Pass. All right, let's start with the part of the show we like to call the hot takes. Paris was the site of the third Corteiz Nike Air Max 95 launch, and people, let's just say, had a time with it. Apparently, this took place a day before a huge demonstration regarding retirement age was going to go down, so there was confusion about whether Corteiz really drew that big of a crowd, but when you look at how many people were trying to get a pair for the New York drop a few weeks ago, and the age of a majority of the people in the crowd, yeah, there's no mistaking which one is for the hype sneakers and which one is for people who are, let's just say, unsatisfied with the direction labor conditions is barreling towards. Pro tip for the kids, though. Those shoes aren't going to pay for your retirement someday. Find something better to chase. But now that Corteiz rules the world in a way that Supreme or an Undefeated used to a decade ago, it does make me wonder if these types of launches are worth it. Yes, that is the old in me talking, but even when I was the age of the hype beast in these videos, you wouldn't catch me in a crowd like that for shoes. Halo 2, maybe, but not sneakers. The energy for this brand is certainly one that we haven't seen in quite some time, and I'm interested to see where they go from here. It's honestly pretty exciting to see some new energy in the space. Speaking of a brand that has a lot of energy behind it, but also appears to be at a crossroads, leaks of the next Union Air Jordan 1 collab have found their way to the internet. While, as usual, I'll reserve my judgment on these until I actually see official images or get an in-person peek, the response to these Jordans and Nike Footscape hybrids has been tepid so far. Then again, people were not all the way sold with the first Union Jordan 1 collab when they first leaked, and we all remember the Jordan 4s getting a mixed reaction as well. I will say though, that the leak has me digging in my storage to see if I have Footscape somewhere in there. I think I do. In other Jordan news, a pair of Jordan 13s worn by MJ during Game 2 of the 1998 NBA Finals recently sold at auction for $2.2 million. That's a lot of money for a sneaker that didn't clinch a championship or have a super memorable moment like a buzzer beater or a vicious dunk. Jordan scored 37 points that night, but that's really a typical Friday for him. For me, it'd be more memorable if he scored like 7 points. I would rather have the J's from MJ's worst game as a pro ever than one where he scored 37 on a random Friday, including the playoffs. And if that's a precedent, what would the flu games go for? Or the last shots go for now? I looked it up, and the flu game shoes sold for a little over $100,000 a decade ago. Now, more Dogecoin than I can dream. But I'll take cash, no crypto. The Super Mario Brothers movie made a lot of money over the weekend, like so much money that they can probably pay off John Leguizamo to stop whining about the notoriously terrible 1993 live-action Mario movie that was so bad Nintendo didn't let anybody try again for 30 years. And the result? Well, it was competent. Yeah, Nintendo allowed another Mario to be made, but you better believe they micromanaged that thing like it was one of their games. It's the Jordan JT1 of animated movies based on an iconic video game franchise that's worth billions of dollars. It's not spectacular. It's not an abomination. It's competent, cromulent even. Kids will adore it. Adults will appreciate the nostalgic hits, and the hardcore gaming audience will find reasons to be upset that a movie ostensibly made for kids doesn't cater to them. That being said, buckle up, because we are in the early stages of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, y'all. Think about it. Detective Pikachu was secretly their Iron Man 1-like test balloon. Get ready for more movies and streaming TV shows based on Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, Splatoon, Animal Crossing, spin-offs for Luigi, Peach, and Donkey Kong, with everything culminating in a Super Smash Bros. Movie a la Avengers Endgame. And you know who saves the day, right? That's right, my Psyduck, y'all. He wrecked everybody in Detective Pikachu. He can beat Master Hand. Mikasa and Captain Levi are available now in Fortnite, and you can make them do the walk some of the more messed up Titans do. Now, you would think I'd be bothered by that, but I'm not. I'm just waiting for Levi to do his jobs and finish off Zeke's punk ass in the anime. He can do damn well whatever he wants in the meantime, especially in Fortnite. We got our first teaser trailer for The Marvels, the upcoming team-up movie that features Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, who is also Captain Marvel in the comics, and Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, a Captain Marvel fangirl. As somebody who enjoyed Rambeau in WandaVision and Kamala in Miss Marvel, but was lukewarm to the Captain Marvel movie, Let's say I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. Just please. And I'm saying please, for the love of Stan Lee, don't do the Spider-Man pointing meme bit at any point in the movie. The only reason that wasn't cringing in No Way Home was because it had 20 years of different actors playing Spider-Man. We're barely past 5 years with Captain Marvel in the movies. Just calm down with that. Oh, AEW. So they announced that they're going all in with a show in London at Wembley Stadium. The first time a wrestling show will take place at the historic venue in over 30 years. The last being SummerSlam in 1992, with a capacity of over 90,000 fans. It's a fair question to ask if Tony Khan can sell it out and outdraw one night from this year's WrestleMania in the process. It's not impossible, it's just that they have some work to do. Tony will likely fill the card with banger match after banger match featuring his deep roster, along with some stars in New Japan, AAA, and other indie promotions. But if they want a true headliner with a story that they can heat up real fast between now and August, there's only one that comes to mind. Kenny Omega versus a returning CM Punk for his final match ever. I was gonna say an all-elite Mercedes Moné against a free agent Bayley, but that's not happening because Bay was just working the marks with her Twitter game last week. So yeah, Punk Omega it is, with Punk doing a last dance a la Michael Jordan and some Jordan 1s or 14. Y'all, let's do it. All right, it's time for the Heat Check, where we bring you everything that's dropping this week. We have the Ronnie Fieg, Frank Lloyd Wright, New Balance 998 Broadacre City on the 17th. The Nike Ja 1 Day 1 on April 19th for 110. The New Balance 576 made in the UK Pink Suede on the 20th for 230. The New Balance 576 made in the UK Monk's Robe on April 20th for 230 as well. Run the Jewels Nike SB Dunk High on the 20th for 140. The Run the Burrows New Balance 576 on the 20th. The 8,000 Kicks in Nissa Letter Studios Weedo. I don't know how to say that. I just know that the sneaker is made out of weed. That's on the 20th for $1,000. The women's Nike Dunk Low Vintage Team Red on the 21st for 120. The women's Nike Dunk Low PRM Neutral Olive on the 22nd for 120. The women's Dunk Low PRM in Pink Suede on the 22nd for 120 as well. The women's Air Jordan 1 High Atmosphere on the 22nd for 180. And the Air Jordan 13 Black Flint on the 22nd for 200. Oh, we also have the Reebok Question Pump on the 22nd for 180 and the Reebok Shaq Victory Pump on the 22nd for 180 as well. And then our 420 pick of the week is the Adidas Campus 80s Croctober on the 20th. It's a pair of the Campus 80s with the tearaway upper that conveniently looks like rolling paper to reveal a bright green suede canvas. It doesn't get much more 420 than that. Apologies to Killer Mike and LP, but those are super dope. And then our pick of the week is this shoe. This is the Adidas Ultra Boost Golf. It's on the 21st for $200. So you're telling me that Adidas can make an Ultra Boost for golf in the iconic OG 1.0 colorway with an enhanced tread pattern and a water-resistant upper? That's like a gift from the sneaker and golf gods. As a fan of the Tour 360s that come equipped with Boost cushioning, I'm already sold on Boost for playing golf. I know it's not as cool or as hyped as it would have been like a few years ago when Ultra Boosts were the biggest thing in the sneaker world, but this is a better late than never situation that hopefully gets us more colorways down the line. Get on it, Adidas, or Adidas Golf, whichever one is in charge. All right, let's talk Masters. First of all, EA Sports PGA Tour, which features Augusta National, mwah. Even if it's kind of hard at first playthrough, mwah. Second, congrats to Jon Rahm on winning his first green jacket. He earned that one after coming back from 4 shots down to beat Brooks Koepka, a surging Phil Mickelson, and others who made their moves during the extended Sunday where everybody still had to finish their third rounds because bad weather washed out Saturday. And I would know about bad weather in Augusta on Saturday, but more on that a little bit later. As for the picks I made before the Masters, well, it's a continuation of the terrible choices I made alongside WrestleMania and the Final Four. Augusta National didn't frown upon the sneakers I wore on Friday and Saturday at the course, and they didn't ban any shoe brands, but also there weren't a lot of envelope-pushing golf shoes on display. Nike had their peach-inspired kicks like the Air Max 90 Golf and the Air Zoom Victory Tour 3 that Books wore, and FootJoy had their pastel-colored shoes, but nothing on the level of the Jordan 11s that were quietly canceled a few years back, and it still breaks my heart to this day. Meanwhile, the LIV and PGA rivalry didn't really materialize as the players on the opposing tours mostly just got along. Yeah, that was probably by design as Phil didn't really say much other than feeling good about his game, But it goes to show you that as long as Greg Norman or Sergio Garcia aren't giving annoying sound bites, the feud will mostly exist in the comment section where it's mostly live bots versus old golf heads anyway. And then there was Tiger. It was just painful to watch. I don't really want to talk about it that much. It sucked to see him out there on Saturday. And look, he's earned the right to go out on his terms. And if he wants to keep going, there's not a tournament in the world that's going to turn him down. But man, let's hope he gets right first before he tries it again. A whole bunch of Star Wars was announced at their celebration event in London last week. We've got movies and shows taking place way before the Skywalkers, around the time of the Skywalkers, and a little bit of past the Skywalkers, but with the self-anointed Skywalker running things. Look, if there's anything the Disney Plus shows have taught me, it's that when Skywalker participation is kept somewhere between 0 and a short cameo, the shows are popping like it's Bunta Eve. So you'll have to forgive me if the movies with Skywalker are the ones I'm least hyped for. Look, Last Jedi had the right idea, man. She was a super interesting nobody, and then they had to make her, no, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm better than this. We worked so hard to get over the Last Jedi backlash. Look, the final scene in Rise of Skywalker was actually pretty good if you just ignore the last 2.5 hours that preceded it. Just enjoy the Old Republic stuff, get hyped for an Avengers-style crossover between all the Disney Plus shows on the big screen, and be cautiously optimistic about Rey. And above all else, don't read the comments or go on Reddit. That is the way. Oh man, that was a trip. Sorry. I know. I'll get back to sneakers. DeMar DeRozan was in not around mode against his former team, the Toronto Raptors, for the first game for the play-in tournament, wearing his Nike Kobe 1 Protro PE for the occasion. Between DeMar and his daughter putting in the work to heckle the Raptors at the free throw line, that had to feel good for Compton's finest. Hopefully this take ages well, since we're recording this before the Bulls' second play-in game against the Miami Heat. Adidas and Bathing Ape are teaming up for a Campus 80s release that's decidedly un-Adidas, depending on what side you look at. And I think I may have found a way for Nike to resolve their beef with Bape. Swoosh on one side, star on the other. It's such a brilliant idea that it's actually never going to happen. Undefeated and Malbon Golf have teamed up to release the former's first golf collection, and you love to see it. Well, in particular, I love to see it. It's cool to see a brand with such an amazing history like Undefeated jump on the bandwagon and help grow the game by introducing it to people who might normally pay attention to golf and entice those who are already hitting balls at the range to step up their style game. And now that we've got Undefeated, let's go for other brands. Let's get them on board, man. Except Supreme. I'm not sure how it would feel if we got a Supreme Nike TW13 collab and Tiger actually wears them. I'm just not sure. Also, we weren't able to cover a few weeks ago, but it appears that Beyonce and Adidas are on the outs after a disappointing performance by the Ivy Park line over the past few releases. It makes sense to cut bait before both sides start getting contentious and pointing fingers in public, but now we have to wonder if the fit was right all along. Will Beyonce try again and team up with a different brand that might appeal to her fan sensibilities? And will Adidas tap another high-profile celebrity to bring energy to the brand? Oh, and speaking of things we can't cover, the Artifact Nike Air Force One collection? Okay, moving on. In some really cool news, congratulations on Washington Commanders defensive end Chase Young on becoming New Balance's first football athlete. You know, I didn't realize that New Balance had never dabbled in American football before, but hey, that's a cool honor for Young. Not only will he be a part of the creation of the first New Balance football cleats, Young will also be the first brand ambassador for Clutch Athletics, a new sportswear company Rich Paul is developing alongside New Balance. So wait, is Nike going to be heated if LeBron or Bronny or Bryce wears a Clutch hoodie in the near future? I'm just asking for a friend. Another thing I'm asking for a friend are these New Balance Kawhi 3s in the most New Balance colorway imaginable. Shades of gray. Shout out to the homie George Keel. If you know, you know. Now, you know how the Kawhi 3s have some Jordan 11 low vibes, in particular the IEs? Well, I'm calling it right now. These are better than the IEs, and it might just be the best new signature shoe of 2023. And finally, I want to give a shout out to a pair of cool content creators that I saw online this week. First one goes to Life of Vinny for showing off his Chick-fil-A sneaker game. Love the sneaker rotation that he has paired up perfectly with his uniform. But I gotta ask though, where's the Phil-A? It's right there in the name. Chick-fil-A, Fila. Get some GH2s in there too. Don't have to go full dad shoe. And then we've got Fominati, who still capes for the foams. The era when foams ruled sneaker culture was a beautiful, more innocent time, and it's one that we hope to be able to revisit someday. Just relax with those Weatherman and STD looking foams, Nike. Nobody asked for those, and honestly, nobody wants them in 2023. All right, it's time for this week's Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go. Like me, myself, and I. That's right. This Hard Pass goes to Jacques Slade, a sneaker clout chaser. If you've been following me for the past decade or so and been a part of my journey, first of all, I want to say thank you and I appreciate you. Second of all, just kidding, because it was all a setup, a ruse, a hustle, a bamboozle. I've been playing this long con for years now, making you believe that I was someone that I really wasn't. That's right. It's a long time coming, and I finally unveiled my master plan to show off some slightly dirty, lost and found Jordan 1s at Augusta National to get some likes on social media. That's right. All the goodwill I've built up this whole time has finally paid off, and now I get to reap the benefits, which was people getting at me in the comments. All right. Let's take a look at some of the responses on my IG. It's mostly positive here, like super encouraging. It's like these people know me and get what I was trying to go for with my post. Okay, let's take a look at an outlet that picked up my post and shared it on their channel. Let's see. Okay, Nice Kicks. Nice Kicks with the repost. Appreciate you, Nice Kicks. There's the mess that I was looking for. Look at this. Okay, here's one. I was apparently goofy for wearing them through grass. I'm a weird attention seeker, a new gen sneakerhead and hype beast. I am apparently very rich, so who cares? I was looking for sympathy, being overly dramatic. I got a bunch of people asking me to send them to them for, they want to clean my shoes for me. Okay, I guess that's cool. A bunch more people were advertising their shoe cleaner. Look, it's just a lot of negativity out there, man. All because I chose to show off the sneakers that I wore to Augusta National, home of the Masters, only the most prestigious golf tournament in the world. Considering how hard it is to get a ticket and how strict the rules are about phones and cameras, it's not like I could just walk around the course in my J's and do some cool stage pictures like I'm Christian Hafer, the golf photographer. This was the best I could do. Believe me, if I could have secured a green jacket and matched them with these cool Asics Gel Light 3s, I would have. Gonna have to settle for dirty J's in the meantime. And look, I get it. Once I put content out for the world to see, it really doesn't belong to me anymore. People are gonna look at it, comment on it, and share it. It's gonna start with my followers who actually understand who I am and what I like to put out there for the world to see. It's gonna be mostly positive feedback with a few, mostly well-meaning trolls. But when it gets shared to people outside of my circle, things like nuance and context get thrown out of the window. Like, Nice Kick said my J's said they took a beating. In internet nomenclature, that means destroyed and mangled and torn to shreds because that's how people in the comments took it. Clearly, that's not what happened. I can just clean them and they'll look good as, well, not new. They'll look good as old since they're reimagined ones. Look, maybe it's me. Maybe I don't understand the passion that real sneakerheads who were offended when they see slightly banged up Jordans at Augusta and want to tear me down for having the nerve to post about them. I'm too new to this life and too obsessed with social media approval to understand what it means to be truly OG. It's a shame that I'll never be able to claim the sneakerhead card, man. It really is. Maybe the next time I post, it should come with all sorts of disclaimers like, I'll keep the caption as is. This is what happens to your shoes after a rainy Saturday at the Masters. But then I'll keep adding more contents like, I'm not doing this for clout, or I just really wanted to let you guys know I got to do this very cool thing and I wish I could have posted more content so you can feel like you're a part of the journey, but this is the best I can do at the time. Or this post is meant to bring sneaker culture and golf closer together. Or my personal favorite, yo, it's not that serious. Chill the fuck out. You know who this is and what I do. Yeah, something like that. Or I could just keep doing what I'm doing, ignore the phony outrage, and appreciate the people who do get it. Thank you, people who understand. Wear your kicks. Oh yeah, one last thing. Read the caption, but never look at those comments. Every shoe is either the greatest or worst thing ever made with zero nuance. Like what you like, buy what you like, wear what you like, and log off because you don't need to have people like what you like. All right, that's gonna do it for the show. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass. I'm Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week. If you'd like to possibly be featured in a future episode, call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message or social media if you want, no more than 30 seconds. All right, I'll see you next week. Peace.